Hi. Uh, Welcome to episode 7, maybe? I think 7. The semester is coming right along. Last week, I'll just start with my foundations class. Last week, we met in the student union, drank coffee. I have ADHD, in case you can't tell. I'm not like 100% convinced it's a real thing. Like, it's a disorder supposedly, or maybe is it, or is it just like a very orderly way of dealing with an environment that we didn't really evolve for? That's a whole other question. So we were sitting in these, like a booth, and which means I was kind of stuck, and I didn't have one of these chairs that I can like do this in, and so I felt a little bit crazy the whole time, but that's okay. Great experience though, because, again, huge bonus of this program is that you just get to sit there and talk to your professor about the research that you want to do, and he helps you come up with ideas and figure stuff out. And Dr. Hammonds, is very good at structure, and he sees things laid out very clearly, or seems to. He does not seem to have ADHD. And so it's very helpful to just have that level of access where you're literally just sitting there talking about your own topics of interest. We talked a lot about phenomenology and hermeneutics. He helped me understand what phenomenology is, which phenomenology, I think, is a way that I tend to think, but I didn't realize that it had a name. So it was a really interesting conversation. In my poetry class, we went to a car dealership. Because if you recall, it's a field poetics, a documentary poetics class. So we do field work. So we were supposed to go, excuse me, to a car dealership and interview them. The first place we went to was like a small, my back itches, was like a small, it's not working. It's like a small used car dealership. Everybody else was going to like Tesla and Lamborghini, so I wanted to do something different. They wouldn't talk to us. So we found a Volkswagen dealership, and we got this dude to talk to us for like 15 minutes. And it was interesting because my boyfriend sold cars for about a year, and he's told me that he couldn't do it because of how much you had to lie. So one thing I wanted to ask this dude, which I did, was, do you feel like you have to lie to do this job? And he was like, no, I can only think of twice that I've lied. But then as he's talking about the job, he's talking about all of these manipulative tactics and like low-key deceptive things. And I'm like, okay, maybe you're not outright lying, but I don't know. The reading for the week, we're reading about Fordism, about selling cars, particularly women selling cars, and how they have to like change in order to be in this very masculine, competitive, and at times kind of abusive world. And I was just reading about Fordism and the de-skilling of the worker and isolating the worker from the product of their labor. And I'm just thinking about how dehumanizing everything is about cars, from making them to selling them to driving them to being in traffic where all these people are reduced to obstacles because they're like in the skin of this machine. And then the way that we have to lay out our cities because of cars, right? The highway and the parking lot and the far removed from everything, the lack of walkability. I said on like the first day of class, I was like, I think cars are terrible. I think they've been an absolute disaster for the human race, and maybe one of the worst things that we ever came up with. And everyone looked at me like I was being hyperbolic. But the more I go through this class, the more I'm like, yeah, no, I think I was right. We like being in cars because it gives us freedom, right? as a mother, especially, getting to just drive off on my own is like, oh, I'm free. But at the same time, we only need a car to experience that level of freedom because we have this car culture and this car layout. You know, it used to that you could just like walk and feel free, you know? Anyway, so we have to write a poem, or we had to write a poem about the experience, or like that came from the experience. And I'm not good at the like write a poem about this thing. I don't do that well. They come to me, they're spontaneous. And so I actually just was talking to my boyfriend last night in bed about this. I was like, what? He just started yapping. He yaps. He was yapping about selling cars, and I just made it a poem. So he kind of wrote it for me, and I'm not going to be happy with this particular assignment and the outcome, and that's okay. That's okay. You can't win them all. So that was this week. Work is insane. It's absolutely insane. And I haven't been feeling well. And there are so many children in my house. How did they get there? And that's it. You know, I'm doing the things. I'm leaving here. I'm going to therapy, and I'm going to, you know, get the children off the bus, and then I'm going to pick up the grocery order, and then I'm going home and I'm going to cook, and then I'm going to do my reading, because this coming week for foundations class, I am the discussion facilitator. So I have to come up with several incisive questions or discussion topics. We're reading about the reading is the book is Politics for the Love of Fandom. I thought that it was going to be about politics as fandom. In other words, like Elon Musk fanboys and, you know, the cult of Trump. But no, it's the opposite way. It's about civic action, sort of being inspired by media fandom. So it's kind of interesting so far. But I'm busy, tired, looking so forward to spring break, even though I will still have all them children and I have to figure out what to do with them during the day. It's like, at least I don't have to get up at 6:30 every morning and get them all ready and out the door. And also, spring break is just like a sneak peek at summer, and I'm very excited about summer because I just want warm weather. I know, I'm gonna regret saying this. I'm gonna be like, what were you thinking? It's 108 degrees. But right now, I'm tired of the cold, tired of being sick all the time. I want warm. I want to wear dresses. I want to start making my summer playlist. What's my summer vibe? What's my summer color palette? I'm feeling lavender right now. It feels like a lavender year. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the kids all summer, but I think we're gonna break it up so that I have them 2 days, my mom has them 2 days, and my boyfriend has them 1 day. And on the days when, you know, the days that I get to be at home, we're gonna go swim. My mom has a pool. We're gonna swim all summer. It's gonna be chill. That is the word for the summer, chill. I'm gonna be chill all summer. I have one class that's capstone. I'm gonna keep doing these videos. They're gonna be shorter. I'm gonna get better at this. I'm gonna end it here because I've been talking for a lot of minutes. As always, thank you for being here. Please leave your comments and questions below. If you have anything that you are particularly curious about or you want me to talk about, I would love to hear from you. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.